Hi, it's Sarah here from Crafting and Stamping, and I'm back with another quick card. My quick card today is relying really entirely on the paper that we're using, and the paper that I've chosen is this Enjoy the Journey DSP. Now these are part of, let's open that out, the Enjoy the Journey Suite collection. But today I'm just using the papers with a different stamp set, and I'll just give you a peek of the patterns that we've got in this. These are really fabulous papers with scenes that you can basically split in half and then into thirds if you're just using card fronts. So you can see how this would go in half. You probably need to trim it down a little, but then you can decide whether you're trimming from the top or from the base, depending on what you're doing. This one, we've kind of got a sea effect and clouds. So again, you can cut this way. And then we've got these trees. Now, the pattern that I'm actually using today is this one, which is really beautiful. You've got the mountains in both purples and greens, and we've got this is the corner of this that we're using for our card. So let me move that on so that you can see it. So we're using the corner of this paper, and the final paper that there is one that I've already cut up to use, but it's very similar to this one, but it's shadows. So it runs from a beautiful magenta through to a crushed curry with some pumpkin pie in between, and there's probably a little bit stripped there that I've taken out. So that is the other one in this, and of course we've got patterns on the other side. So we've got a beautiful starry sky, which is fabulous for men's cards, although some of these other ones I think are great anyway for men's cards. We've got this, which we will be using later in the week, and these I really like this kind of mosaic effect. And on the other side of this one, we've got these. So that's what we're using, and like I say, I've just cut a square. This is a 4" by 4" Coastal Cabana card base, and so I've just cut this to 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. I'm going to be using the Charming Sentiments with it, and just using the Woohoo for the front of the card, and then I'll be picking there we are, Super Fantastic Mega News for the inside as a congratulations card. So that's how I'm making this one, but of course you could use any sentiment or any pairing of sentiments that you've got with this. Now, because I'm using Memento ink and I'm stamping onto a DSP, I could use this, just a little block with the Woohoo on, but I wanted to show how we can get a better look with using the Stamparatus. You don't have to use this, just using your block and the sentiment will work okay, but you won't necessarily get a really crisp look from it. And one of the things that I would suggest to you with stamping onto DSP is that you use a slightly bolder sentiment for it. Something that is a very thin script might not show up so well. It should probably be all right, but you might want to test it out. The ink doesn't always gel quite so well with paper as it does with card. Our card is made to be stamped on. The paper is also made to be stamped on, but like I say, I just like to get a really crisp image, and you can do that with the Stamparatus by double stamping, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So when you get a Stamparatus, you get a piece like this to go inside it for when you're using photopolymer stamps. Now, the mat that you see me using all the time that I bring out and use all the time is a deluxe mat that you can get extra for this. So I have this for just stamping on my grid paper. It's a white clean surface, does need a good clean. So I'm going to use this. Now I'm going to just show as well how I tend to position my stamp. It would make sense to sort of have it on this way and pop it on this way round. But the difficulty with that is that this won't necessarily get all the way to the edge. I'll show you what I mean. If I turn it around this way, then the stamp is going to be in the middle of this plate. So we're going to get a nice firm pressure. If I did it this way round, then the plate is in the corner and it's difficult to get such an even pressure all the way around. So I hope that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is just place this on face down where I want it. I am just popping it up against there to get an idea of where I want it. And I'm actually going to put the exclamation mark coming out of the top of my mountain there, just for a little extra fun. So I've now turned it around to there. The mat is pushed up into that corner. The DSP is pushed up into that corner. I'm then going to close that, press to pick it up, and it will stick to the DSP, that's normal. What we do is just, again, make sure the mat's into the corner, the paper's into the corner, and now we're going to stamp. So I'm going to ink up my stamp rather with Memento black ink. Make sure that's pushed in well and stamp. And I can just press where that stamp is. Again, it's likely to stick, so just gently push it down. And you can see we've got a pretty good impression already. But I'm actually going to stamp this again. Again, make sure the mat is right into the corner, the paper's right into the corner. Ink the stamp again. And it's going exactly where it was last time. So just take that off. And then you can see we've got a rather bolder look than we had originally. So that is my card front, and all I'm going to do for this is use my seal and pop this on the card front. So like I say, the DSP is doing all the work for us. We're just adding a sentiment, but we're making sure that that sentiment is nice and bold and sharp. And again, I'll just turn it over, press from the back so that I don't smudge my ink. So that is my quick card for today. Really quick, because the paper's doing all the work for us. So please, don't miss this paper. It's not so easy to see how great these patterns are until you actually see some of the cards that have been made with them. But even then, I don't think you really get to see just how great those paper designs are. They're really easy to use, really easy. So please do subscribe to my channel below to see a quick card every Monday and a quick tip every Friday. And thanks for stopping by.